Have you ever canoed down a babbling brook?
No, but I have cried at a Taco Bell.
Oh, same thing. Listen up, campers.
It's time to buckle up, pitch a tent, and take a hike.
Because Camp Counselors is a variety show.
So prepare for a good old-fashioned kumbaya,
Weird news,
hot gossip,
and scary stories around the campfire.
so spooky.
Is this podcast even about camping?
No, but it is camp. This is Camp Counselors.
Hey, happy campers.
Welcome back to Camp Shady Birch.
It is week 115 here at camp.
What a marvelous week it is.
But I am a little jet lagged, I must admit.
You're jet lagged from the hour time zone difference from Chicago. Is that what you're telling the campers?
Yeah, it sets you back 60 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
When you lose 60 minutes, you lose 60 minutes and no one can give that back to you. Not even United. So here's looking at you, United Airlines. You took that 60 minutes like the bah humbug Scrooge you are. And I'm over here, Tiny Tim, with my little crutch. Wait, what was Tiny Tim's ailment? Did he have a broken ankle or was it like an actual physical handicap?
I think he was just like clumsy. I think he's just like fell.
That is so incorrect. There's no way he's just clumsy. I think he actually had a bad leg.
Polio, maybe.
Oh my God. Now that you say it, let the holiday bells ring because I do believe it was polio.
It was either that or he was jumping on a trampoline.
My Nana had polio. Have I ever spoken about this publicly?
I don't think you have.
God rest her soul. Judy up in heaven. My favorite grandparent. And I'll say that on camera.
Oh, rest in peace.
Gone too soon. God, she would have loved to have seen all this. She was my little champion. I wish every day that she was here for this to see like what the shenanigans I'm up to professionally now. But no, she was the tallest woman. We'll say girl because it was 6th grade. She was the tallest girl in 6th grade. And then she got polio.
In 6th grade?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it stunted her growth. So she's never grew after that. And she fell out of a moving car.
Oh my
God.
God.
I use that joke in I use that for my Gigi joke on the live show, which first of all, it's the middle of the holiday seasons. What am I getting my sister? What am I getting my mom? What am I getting my coworker? Come see me and Jonathan on tour. It's like the ultimate gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the gift of community. But there's a bit when I do my mom character and I talk about Gigi falling out of a moving vehicle on the highway and hitting her head. And that's based on my Nana. My Nana had a bald spot, which you'd never know because she had fabulous white hair. She was so Mrs. Claus with the red lipsticks. Oh my God. I literally am recreating her all the time. But
you've told that joke so many times in front of me and I had no idea. I just thought that was like a random bit you were throwing in there. I didn't know that was real.
Yeah, no, my Nana fell out of a moving car on a highway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because the door opened and she rolled out because they weren't wearing seatbelts.
Because they weren't invented until 1944.
Completely unrelated to the polio of it all and the Tiny Tim of it all.
So she was definitely on crutches in both situations.
Yeah, and one time a bat flew into her hair and I got caught in her hair.
In her white hair.
And she was screaming and a bat was stuck in her hair.
Did she have a bout of bad luck?
Oh my God, no, she was, and she'd tell you that story, and first of all, she'd be sneaking a cigarette 2 hours previous, and then she'd tell you that, and she would do that thing that I do, this is my favorite thing in the world, you guys, when you're laughing so hard, and you're crying, and you can't get the story out, because it's so funny.
And everybody's like, okay, and then what?
That was her. That was Judy.
Oh, Judy.
Oh my God, today's episode is dedicated to Judy, but it's not about her, so we're going to move on.
We're going to make it about us.
Well, we had a really fun week, and I want to tell the campers because if you're following us on socials, that was a weird way to say that, you probably knew that we were in Chicago, and you knew that we had some fun, and we want to tell you all about this trip.
Okay, so why were we in Chicago?
I had the Aldi Christmas party. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll call it the Aldi Holiday Party.
Aldi Holiday Party,
but
okay.
I celebrate Christmas, so I'm saying Xmas.
Works for me.
So they flew us out to Chicago, where their home base is, and we had the most fabulous day with Aldi. So we get there, we land, we get to the hotel, they have some goodie bags in the room, real influencer style, and I look at the itinerary and I say, oh holy shit, oh holy night, we're about to have a good old-fashioned kiki. And they're gonna kill me for saying this. The women who work for Aldi are the most powerful bad bitches in the crew. Like, you have no idea. These women, they dress to impress. They're rowdy, they're rambunctious, and they want to have a good time. And I know that because I went to the holiday party last year in New York. So I was fully prepared that whatever we were going to do was going to be hysterical because these women, oh my God, they fill my cup. They fill.
They're such a fun crew.
They fill my mug of eggnog in debauchery, and they're putting a nip in there. Because the first thing we do, you guys, we get out of the hotel, we meet in the lobby. I'm meeting the other creators, a fabulous group of other content chefs and comedians. And we exit the hotel, you guys, and outside is a gorgeous Christmas trolley.
A holly jolly trolley, if you will.
Such a holly jolly trolley.
It was huge. Like, it was kind of a legit trolley, just not on a track. It wasn't a bus.
It's a limousine company that owns it.
Yeah, but I guess it is a trolley. I don't know what classifies a trolley. I always thought they had to be on a track.
Well, yeah. Think about like what trolley means to you, and that's personal, and I won't get into that with you. But like remove it from the train track and give it some motor and wheel.
You try to keep me strapped, but I am a free bitch. You can't tell me where to go.
So unstrappable this trolley was. It's definitely something they use for like weddings.
Yeah, for sure.
But they decked it out to make it more holiday.
Yeah, it was really cute. They had little Christmas lights inside, decorated nicely for Christmas.
Oh my God, they had these like gorgeous like tote bags with our names monogrammed on them. Very a la LL Bean.
Yeah.
It gave me real big LL Bean vibes, and I love it. Someone spilt red wine on mine in the trolley. I don't know who it was, but I wasn't drinking red wine. And mine has a splatter of red wine, which is also like so my brand. So I'm gonna wash it. And
I thought it was you. I was like, who? I didn't think you were drinking
red wine on the trolley.
Oh,
yeah, I wasn't.
Okay.
So, you know what's funny? It was someone on that bus, and they saw it happen, and they said, "I'm not saying anything.
I'm not doing this."
Which is exactly what I would have done. I would have said nothing.
A scene of the crime.
So the trolley was really cool, you guys, because in the back corner it had like an ice chest full of Aldi wine, and let's just say bottles were popping, and so was my back. Like, I was throwing it back. I was throwing it back on that bus because the playlist was fire, and the company kept me even warmer.
Yeah,
because it was just so gorgeous. And the first place we went on our lovely evening in Chicago was to an actual physical Aldi location.
On the itinerary, it did say grocery games.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what that entailed, but my assumption was we were about to get ourselves into like Supermaket Sweep.
So we get out of the trolley and we are greeted by the owner or the operating manager of this location.
Mrs. Aldi.
Yeah, this was she was giving such Miss Aldi core. And she gave us a whole like I don't know, like guided walkthrough of the store.
A spiel.
Yeah, a spiel. And she was kind of just like letting us know like why Aldi works and how it works and how they keep the prices so low. It's actually very interesting. Like Aldi's like, hey, we're not stocking bottles on the shelves because that takes too much time. Throw the box up there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, saved a minute. And guess what? Just like United will never get those 60 minutes back. Aldi's getting their 60 minutes back.
Yes, they are. Wow, that's full circle.
They're really doing it. But it was really funny. At one point, they did this thing which I actually despise because I always do it wrong. You know when like you're in a presentation and someone asks a very like general question and you have to answer and what you say back is incorrect. So let me give you context here. She said, "What did you notice about the size of this store?" Oh, Jonathan?
It's really big.
Actually, it's not.
Oh.
The store is actually smaller to a general grocery store.
Yeah, it's super small, super tiny. Actually, I think I can't even breathe in here. It's suffocating.
That situation where when you get the question wrong, it's like, I'll actually never speak again. I actually will take a vow of silence right now.
But it wasn't you who answered. Was it you who answered?
No, because I knew the answer was small, but it was you, Lee.
But also, nobody wants to answer that. If you're literally in front of everybody who's working for Aldi and they're like, "What do you notice about our store?" I'm not going to say it's small.
But I think that's what they wanted you to say. Clearly, that was the answer.
Well, clearly that was the answer.
Well, it was just funny. It was really informative. And then when her tour was over, we did play a version of Supermaket Sweep. Jonathan, do you want to explain it?
They gave us 5 minutes, and there was an envelope. Everybody got an envelope, and we had clues on each of them, and we had to find it around the store. So it was Supermaket Sweep, essentially. I haven't seen Guy Fieri's grocery games. That's the same thing, yeah?
I'm assuming it sounds like it.
But all the while, the store is still open. So there are customers in there that we cannot interfere with, or no running, no stealing, no biting is what I heard when I was watching the vlog back. Also, we vlogged this whole thing. So if you want to, you hop on over to Patreon if you want to see this go down in real time.
The vlog is so fun.
No, it really is fun because it's edited like Supermaket Sweep.
Well, you kept telling me to stop running, and I said, if the Aldi team isn't telling me to stop running, I'm going to keep running. And I believe we would have won had I had not met someone who watches my videos, and she pulled me for like a 3-minute conversation, which the game doesn't matter. Like meeting people in real life is so special, and I want to be able to like talk and like chat. So I did.
Right, but seriousness to the side and jokes to the forward. That was like, I think, a planted actress to ask you for a picture.
That was a sabotage moment because we talked for 2 minutes, and then I thought I was be able to go back, and then she asked for a photo, and I was like, okay. And then I'm looking around, and everyone's on clue number 4, and I'm still on clue number 2, and that wasn't fair. And
no, that was a filibuster.
That was the filibuster of it all. So we ended up coming in total 3rd place out of 5. We didn't get last though, and I was like, y'all need to pick it up because I had a penalty for a moment.
Well, also we wouldn't have won because when we finished, we got one of the clues wrong.
You know what? And that wasn't fair because in Aldi, if you're listening, that was up to interpretation. And you said pick a viral ingredient, and I picked the German butter crisp cookies, and you said those aren't viral, and I said not yet, but I'll make them viral. And I think that was a good answer, and I think I should have gotten a bonus point for that. And instead, you guys subtracted a point. So we did not place 1st or 2nd or 3rd or 4th. I believe we got 5th.
Hey, I feel like we kind of just got disqualified at that.
Well, I thought we brought the holiday cheer.
We did.
It was so fun. I was like, can we do another one? And they were like, we have to go. And I was like, one more.
It was fun. I wanted to help you more, but you would half read the clue and then run off. You were like sprinting. I was like, I didn't even hear the rest of it.
Jonathan, to be fair, when I show you a video on my phone and there's text on it, it could be 2 lines of text and you need 2 minutes.
No, okay, but if I audibly hear it, that's different.
Okay, then remind me never to go on a game show with you because you have too many tricks and rules. Like, read the card, let's go.
So then after grocery games, we hung our head in shame and made our way over to Charcuterie Chalet.
Yeah, they had this like big like activation like big event, and it was to promote all of the fabulous cheese and crackers and meats you can get at Aldi, and they themed it Charcuterie Chalet, which I really appreciated because I think like when we think holiday, everyone instantly goes to like Christmas, but you really can just do a ski lodge vibe, and it is giving just as it's actually more chic.
They had these little punch cards that looked like it was for a ski lift, and you go to each of the little things. There was like 5 of them, and they would punch your little card. I was on a mission, but I failed it.
I have to be honest. They were like, oh, make sure you go to every booth. And I didn't because I was having too much fun chatting with everybody. I had a glass of Chardonnay, and that's not true. I had a glass of champagne. See, it's already such a blur. And I was just eating crackers and cheese from the same booth because it was so tasty. And I was like, I bet everything else is amazing. And I took pictures of everything. But I'm loving this beef. It was a good pepperoni. So that was fabulous. And we took great pictures there. And then after that, we went to Betty's.
Betty Boops.
Yeah. And we got this incredible deep dish pizza one-on-one lesson. And I've never been a fan of deep dish pizza until this trip because I think I finally had it fresh. And we made it ourselves.
Yeah, that was the fun part where it's like we're not just going to a dinner, which is, great and fun, but we got a little activity. And Lord knows we love a freaking activity.
Yeah, we got to make our own personal deep dish pizzas. And they were like, oh, it's going to take 40 minutes to cook. And everyone's like, wow, that's so long. And I was like, we have time, guys.
They have so much shit in there for us to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I have conversation. You guys put out focaccia. And I'm seeing some celery sticks. Like I can take 40 minutes off. Mm-hmm. Pour my glass of me a wine.
They had a cute little like 1950s kitchen set up. It was like a little set, very a la Sabrina Carpenter's Nonsense Christmas set. And they had like a little photo activation. So we took pictures there. Off the record, I did break one of the props. It was a spatula and I dropped it. My bad.
What broke about it?
The top came off.
Did you fix it?
I threw it behind the oven and then I turned the gas on and then I gassed the whole place out.
Sorry, Betty. We're so sorry, but the pizza was great. Company was even better. And then after that, you guys don't understand this. We had a nightcap at this place called JoJo Shakes, and it was fantastic. But I was in everyone's ear like a little bee, being like, okay, like where are we going after this? The party can't end at 11:30. I'm like ordering the entire team shots of Patron. I'm like, let's get crazy, let's get creepy. And they were like, no. And they're like, yes. And it also was like the marketing team from the PR, I think. Well, obviously Zeno was there too.
Who wanted to go?
Yeah, like I was just in everyone's ear like, okay. And then it's so funny, guys, because at this point in the night, there has been a lot of alcohol and half of the crew is kind of like floundering. Like they're getting really sleepy, like they did it a little too fast, a little too quick. And I'm like, it's time to trim the dead fat. Like,
And you said that you were like, are you coming? Are you going? Are you coming? Are you going?
well, I didn't want people to come out of obligation. I'm like, the party ends here if it ends for you.
Right.
You don't have to go to the next bar. But if you're tired now, like, I don't think you're going to pep up there.
Right.
So, and like last year, you went home early.
I had to.
Couldn't keep going.
I couldn't.
And I think it's okay to let people know that's your choice and that's okay. But also, there is a bunch of us who are being creepy and we want to start barking.
Yeah, and I had to stay up for this one. I was tired, but I was like, okay, I can't keep getting shit from everybody for sleeping through last year. I can't. And I'm here for a good time, and I love these girls.
So we got the barkers and we got Ubers and we went to the bar and we had a great nightcap there and we took shots and we drank and it was just a beautiful time. And
oh my god, and then it snowed.
It did.
How
snow.
magical! It snowed when we were at JoJo Siwa's ski resort.
Shake Shack.
Yeah, Shake Shack. Wow, the alliteration is incredible.
No, it was really fun. I woke up really hungover the next day, and I was just really grateful because they put on a great spread, and they just always do it at a top tier level. And I just love Aldi.
Thank you, Aldi. So the next day, we wake up, and as you campers know, I did live in the Midwest for 9.5 years of my adolescence, 1998 to 2007. And we were not that far from my hometown. Mind you, I haven't been back in a while. I feel like I've said this a lot, but I haven't been back in a long time. And I wanted to take Zach to see it, and Zach was interested to go see Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Yeah, I put on my story Crystal Lake, Chicago, and people were like, that's not Chicago. And I was like, guys, I'm so hungover, and that's what I wrote. Yeah. But it was only an hour and 15 minutes from our hotel, which to me was like, that's not that serious. Like, that's like a quick drive.
I rented a car, and because I was doing it day of, he gave us, what was that, a Ford Chrysler Sebring? I don't know, something like that. And I couldn't figure out how to turn the fucking AC or the heat off. So I'm driving to go pick you up, and he had blasted it before I got in. And it was so hot. I was like melting, and my cakes were baking, and I couldn't turn the seat heater off. I felt like an old person.
Because it was a big iPad.
It was a giant iPad. And then I was getting distracted, and I'm driving in a city in a rented car.
Yeah, and a new car that you don't even understand how to use.
Yeah, and I was by myself.
It can get
scary.
tricky.
It was
yeah.
scary.
I was back at the hotel editing a video for work. And then we drove there. Jonathan, how did it feel to be back in Crystal Lake?
It felt really bizarre. And I feel like it's hard to explain for people who haven't like moved out of a place and haven't been back in so long. Like, think about living somewhere for a whole decade and then not being back for like almost 2 decades.
Babe, when I go home to New Bedford and Dartmouth, if one business has closed in the 3 months that I haven't been there, I like basically have a panic attack.
It's
and I'm like,
changing around here.
You don't understand. That used to be this weird pizza place next to the Dartmouth Mall that never works. It was Rose and Vicky's, and now it's some sort of steak and cheese place, and I don't understand it. So for you, it was like, oh my god,
from Rose and Vicky's to steak and cheese. That's really what it was. So the first stop that we were going to was my house, my OG house, and we were just going to do a drive-by real quick. So we're driving by, and Zach stops the car. We take a picture. I'm like gassed. I'm vlogging the whole thing. All of this is on the vlog. And I'm like, okay, we've been sitting here for a second. Somebody's definitely home. There's 2 cars parked in the driveway. Let's go. And you're like, no, get out. We have to do the bit from Jennifer Lopez. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying I didn't want to linger too long.
Well, this is so Jonathan too. Jonathan's always like nervous of people's perceptions of what's happening around him. Where I'm like, we're here for 1 minute. Get out, do the bit. You're going to regret it if you don't. So you're like, fine, I'm going to do it.
So I get out of the car, and Zach starts filming. And the garage door to my old house starts going up. And I'm like, oh no, this is my worst nightmare. So I book it back to the car. I'm like, drive. I will duck and roll. Just go. And the man comes to the end of the driveway, and he's like, hi. And I'm like, oh, I hate confrontation. I hate this so much.
Well, you made it look weirder by like running back to the car.
But I am fight or flight. And 10 out of 10 times I got my round trip ticket and I'm flying. I'm flying.
Yeah, you're flying.
So you yell, he used to live here.
I'm trying to de-escalate.
I know. And it did. It works. And he goes, oh. And his like guard came completely down. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I used to live here, live in New York now. I haven't been back in a really long time. And he says, is your name Jonathan? I'm sorry. I did not know what was going to come out of his mouth. I was like, how does he know this? What happened? Listen, campers, would you believe it? I used to do a lot of weird things as a child, like bury my own time capsules in Easter eggs and raisin boxes that are sure to disintegrate in the backyard with like things that I found or things that I would steal from the neighbors. So I'm thinking like, okay, he probably found one of those that I wrote my name on. But then I'm like, well, I wrote them on parchment. That's probably melted by now. So he says, is your name Jonathan something with a C? I said, yeah, my name is Jonathan Carson. Hi. And he said, your name is all over the basement walls. And I don't remember doing this, but I had written on the basement walls my name, and they kept it, I guess. There have been a couple homeowners since, and he was nice enough to run inside. He took pictures. He took my number, and he texted me the pictures of my name written on the wall. And it's like my height in the year 2000, in the year like 1998. It says like Jonathan's second day of kindergarten, and all the way up to, I don't know why I was recording these, because I could tell when my parents were doing it, obviously. And then at some point I was like, first day of summer in 4th grade, baby.
Jonathan saw Ice Age and said, oh, hieroglyphics, I can do that myself. So I'm gonna go to the basement and start. You literally were like, first day of summer, bitch, and then like left. And you guys wrote all over the walls, but you're like you're kind of downplaying it a bit, babe. It was so crazy, like the fact that he like was like, oh, Jonathan, you're all over my house, and we've never taken it down. And everyone that's lived there in between also wrote their names. You created a community mural.
It was a conversation. He told me it was a conversation that he had when he bought the house, that the homeowner previous to him, which I believe was the people we sold it to. It might have been like another family in there. I don't know. But he was telling them that everybody and their kids started like measuring their height on the same wall. And then he took the picture, and other kids' names are on the same wall up next to mine. It was really nice. It was a really nice
You
moment.
started that.
I did. I started that. Nobody's ever done that before. Measured their height on a wall and marked it.
If that was me, I would have went in there, because when I moved into a house once, there was stickers of Marilyn Manson all over the bedroom, and I said, remove these. I'm not gonna
stickers.
I
didn't even know he had stickers.
Well, it was definitely like a Hot Topic special.
Oh,
but what I'm trying to say is like, if I move into a house, I don't want to feel the essence of anyone that's ever lived there.
Well, granted,
remove the presence.
Maybe I'm not excited. I don't think I said the basement wall. It was half finished, half unfinished, and it was the unfinished like cement wall where they had like a gym currently. So it wasn't like on the drywall that nobody painted over. That would have been crazy.
You're like, it's actually in the kitchen cabinets.
It's like in the middle of the living room wall, and it's still there to this very day.
You know what's crazy about your neighborhood that I've never seen before? First of all, I've never been out in like the country over there. It's so flat. You can see for miles and miles.
It's the prairie state. It is the flattest of them all.
It's so flat. And then also, when you go into these neighborhoods, I've never seen neighborhoods this big. We're driving 20 minutes just through like planned developments.
Mm-hmm.
Like no roadway, like not like businesses, like just windy roads of houses and houses and houses and houses. Like I've never seen this before.
Because it literally like was city, like Chicago, and then cornfields. So they just started like sprouting out all these houses in the cornfields, and that's why there's just like so much space, so many churches. We saw that mega church, and that was we saw 2 sisters of the giant mega church that started there. It's all a scam, allegedly, in my opinion.
They just actually came out with a Hillsong documentary, not that church.
It wasn't Hillsong.
But I'm just saying, like,
yeah, we should watch that. Spooky. So then I made Zach drive past my elementary school, my middle school, Camp Crystal Lake, which we did see, and it was so cold. I was like, we could get out, but I wasn't going to make you do that. What were we going to do?
Well, don't blame it on me. It was -4 with the wind chill on the lake. I don't think either of us wanted to get out.
I didn't want to get out. I'm not blaming it on you. I said it was cold out. I'm not going to make you do that. It was cold. So then after that, we went to downtown Crystal Lake. It's the same as I left it. I saw the theater that I played Zazu at.
And Jonathan like had a story for every nook and cranny of he was taking pictures of trash cans that said Crystal Lake on it. He said, look at this. It's Crystal Lake trash can. I said, wow, babe.
Listen, the town branding is impeccable.
We took pictures in front of the theater where you played Zazu. And then there was that antique mall that I had diarrhea in.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. It was an interesting sign on the cameras because it said, if you poop a little, flush. If you wipe a little, flush. They said, old pipes, don't fill the pipes.
Don't tread on me. Something like that. It was like a riddle almost.
Something about an antique mall always gives me diarrhea. I think it's the energy of the dark spirits. of yesteryear. They're trying to enter my body, and the only way they can get in is through the colon, but the colon's blocked. So they must remove the plug. And then they can crawl up in me.
Craziest thing to think.
What's
about.
crazier is that there was shirt merch on the bathroom walls in there.
There was, and I considered purchasing.
Yeah, with the fumes coming out of me, absolutely not. That's foul. That was cool. Jonathan also brought me to a popcorn stand, and I really want him to tell you about this.
So here's the thing. This is one of those places that even back in the late 90s, I looked at and I said, how did she survive this long? Like, it looked like it just was there from the 60s, and I do believe that it was. So when we rounded the corner and I saw her standing there, him standing there, Pops, I said, wow, how is he still standing here? He made it through COVID, bitch. Like, he made it.
It's a popcorn, snack shack.
Now, I think, and this is alleged, that they don't have to pay a full rental fee for a thing because it's technically not a building. It's it's a food truck that's not a truck. It's a trolley.
It's a food cart.
They love a trolley in that state of Illinois, don't they? So I remember going there when I was a little girl, and I would get all sorts of popcorn, candies, goodies, and soda pop galore. They call it pop there.
Well, Jonathan orders a little bag of popcorn. I order a popcorn ball, and then he immediately gets frazzled. He goes, is there a credit card minimum? And I look at him like, chill. And then she looks at him like, chill. She's like, no, you're good.
When the
men, okay. I was like, why did you flip out like that?
Well, because if there was a credit card minimum, I would have ordered some pops to make that minimum. Because when the menu is written in Sharpie, it makes you wonder if they can handle the Amex charges.
I think it was just you anticipated something that wasn't happening, and it was just really funny because I don't think you also heard audibly how much you gasped when you said it, because me and her both were like, whoa.
No, I definitely did. And it was one of those situations where you think it's going to come out different, and then it comes out. And I haven't a time machine, babes. I can't go back and redo it. But I knew when it came out, I was like, that was abrupt. That was alarmist. That was intense of me. And I didn't mean to.
It was so funny because I was so hungover this entire day. I could not form a sentence. And I know you were too, but the natural energy of you being there, I think got you you were just so in your element. You were so excited. And it was so fun to watch you light up and tell all these stories. And we have the whole thing on Patreon, both the Aldi and the Crystal Lake trip on Patreon now. But it was fun. It was very fun.
And then we ended the day with no photographic proof, but my friend Kelly and her husband Matt, who lived down the street from me when I was growing up, we went out to dinner with them. We were going to go to this one place okay, let me explain this first restaurant we were going to go to. I had never been to this place, and it was close, and I was like, how did I never hear of this? And it's they said it was a river. I don't think that's a river. I don't think it goes anywhere. And it's very fisherman core, but we're landlocked. Lake Michigan might look like an ocean, but it's still a lake. So get over it. So there is this whole nautical theme, and I've been, where Zach is from, which is the real nautical theme of it all. So this is just playing pretend. And online I saw that it had in the lobby a massive pond indoors that is so big, it has a boat in it.
Like a real boat.
A real boat.
Indoors.
And I said, maybe we need to go there. So we go there.
Parking lot's full.
Parking lot is full. I said, oh my God.
Where is everybody?
How are we going to get a table? Where is everybody? Where was everybody? We walk in. You say, hi, we are hungry. Can we get a table, please?
No, I walk in. That's not what happened. I walk in. There's not a single soul in there. And there's a woman at the host stand who looked like a character I'd portray on my TikTok. I was taking notes. And she goes, are you here for the party? I said, oh, no. Can we go sit at the bar? She goes, oh, great. They'd love to see you. And I said, oh, that's never a good sign. If the bar needs to see me and they'd love to see me, this is a really slow day. Yeah. So let's go upstairs and contribute. And the vibes were it was stale. It was stale. We got 2 Michelob Ultras and we dipped. We texted Kelly. We're like, hey, we can't eat here. It definitely is a place that's a banquet hall. You go there for a retirement party or a bingo night or it's definitely a fundraiser for lymphoma. It's definitely you go there and
or polio or something.
No, seriously.
And it was not the moves. We ended up going to On the Border and sat there for 2 hours. And I ordered a margarita that came with a shot.
No, it wasn't your fault. The woman who was our server, God bless her, was so just confused about everything. She didn't know how to sub the tequila for Patron. So what she did was she charged you for a shot of Patron on the side.
Oh, and
You
that's
said
why
you
I
wanted
was,
it with Patron, and that almost threw her into like a vertigo spell. She was like, I can't do this, and I'm not gonna do this. So what you're gonna get is a floater, essentially.
a double dose. So
Yeah.
I already had a margarita that had alcohol in it. I didn't think there was tequila in it. And then I put my shot into it.
What's
so
a margarita from On the Border? I don't think they're known for the world's strongest margaritas.
Well, that one was, and I had two.
Good for
I
you.
had two. But yeah, it was fun, and I'm so glad you got to see the little town that raised little me.
I loved it. We had a great trip. So we're happy to be back and happy to be back on the pod.
Holiday season is officially upon us, and MeUndies, my go-to brand for unbelievable comfort, has you covered with everything you need to be your coziest self. From lounge pants to hoodies, sweats, and onesies, MeUndies is so much more than just an underwear brand. And since the holidays are here, what could be a better gift for everyone on your list than the gift of comfort from MeUndies? I've said it once, I've said it a million times, but I love MeUndies, and they truly are the first pair that I always reach for. And when it comes to their underwear, MeUndies has a cut for every butt. With 10 different styles that come in over 100 different colors and prints, ranging from black to all over dinosaurs. MeUndies' signature super soft micromodal fabric is breathable, stretchy, and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all day wear. And like I said, it's not just about underwear. You can explore the lounge collection. They've got joggers, they've got hoodies, they've got onesies, and so much more. So knock out all of your holiday gifting needs today with MeUndies. To get exclusive holiday deals and savings all month long, go to MeUndies.com/counselors and enter promo code counselors. That's MeUndies.com/COUNSELORS and use code counselors. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in.
Attention campers, please meet at the old flagpole under the tall pine for morning announcements.
Welcome back to Morning Announcements, campers. This is the part of the show where we share news articles with you that you might have missed, that we want you to spread like wildfire. Counselor John, will you take us away, baby?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. So this is an article coming from Euro Weekly, even though it does take place in the United States. And it is by Anna Ellis. And the title of that article is Record-Breaking Couple Get Married in Their 100s.
Oh my God, a wedding? They're both in their hundreds?
They're both in their
This
hundreds.
is sweet.
So 102-year-old Marjorie Fetterman and 100-year-old Bernie Littman had already lived fulfilling lives before their paths crossed. After the loss of their spouses, both moved into the same senior center in Philadelphia, not looking for love, but found it just a few doors down.
I'm going to sob. I love this already.
But even when they were younger, they hadn't been too far away from each other. They just didn't know it yet. Both Marjorie and Bernie had attended the University of Pennsylvania at the same exact time, but their paths never crossed back then. Bernie studied engineering while Marjorie became a teacher, and life simply took them on different paths until they met at the senior living facility. Their journey began at a costume party on their floor, where Bernie and Marjorie immediately clicked. So this was a few years ago. So in my mind's eye, Marjorie is dressed like Harley Quinn and Bernie is probably like...
Garfield?
Yeah, either Garfield or maybe like a minion or something. I'm not really sure.
Oh, a minion for sure. Yeah.
So their first date coincided with, I don't know why they threw this detail. I read it a couple times to see if there was a tie in here, but you tell me if I'm missing something. The first date coincided with the birth of one of Bernie's great-granddaughters, marking the start of a relationship that would blossom over time. After 9 years of companionship, they tied the knot, becoming the oldest married couple with a combined age of 202 years and 271 days.
Wow.
I know. Bernie's granddaughter, Sarah Shearman, posted on social media, "With so much sadness and fear in the world, it's nice to share something that brings people joy." She added, "Today, my 100-year-old grandfather marries his 102-year-old girlfriend. They both had 60+ years of marriage with their first spouses and found love again at 100.
Isn't it crazy like how I don't know, conversation and reasons to live keep people living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think when people pass away and they're like, when people's spouses die and they die of like a broken heart, I really believe that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can find love again, it can keep you going for 9 more years.
I know.
That's amazing.
Really sad. The couple's bond grew over shared meals and participation in community productions at their senior living facility.
Are they sharing a room now?
I don't know. I don't think
They're getting
so.
freaky.
They probably are. Bernie credits his long life to staying curious, reading, and keeping up with current events.
Period. Exactly. He goes, I know what TikTok is. I don't care about it.
While Marjorie attributes her long life to drinking buttermilk.
We gotta stop asking the elderly how they're living so long, because it will 9 out of 10 times be like something that you should never do. They're like, a cigarette and a Dr. Pepper every morning has been my ritual since 1930. And it's like, well, I think you're lucky. I think the number one killer of people is stress. I really do. So I think maybe they didn't have stressful lives, because I think people who don't have stress, they tend to live longer.
Yeah, I mean, she's just sipping on her rum and Red Bull with her buttermilk.
Buttermilk is an ingredient, not something to drink.
Buttermilk is so disgusting. It is so salty, and it tastes like it has already curdled.
She said, don't you going to talk to me about this? She said, see 102. Oop, maybe you won't.
Her farts reek.
Well,
Sorry, Marjorie.
Bernie is into that.
Although Marjorie has no children of her own, she has gained 2 stepchildren, 4 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren through her marriage to Bernie.
Oh, so she didn't even really have a family after that.
No, she had her marriage, but she didn't have...
Oh, that's actually really sad. So thank God for this.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So congratulations to Marjorie and Bernie, and cheers to 100 more years. Probably not, just being real, but I thought it was a sweet story.
I love that. That's great. Because my story this week is also like really sweet.
I love it. Let's get into it.
Let's keep the uplifting news moving forward. This article comes from San Diego Magazine by Sean Birch, and the title is Meet San Diego's renowned pet detective, Babs Fry. Babs Fry is on a mission. It's 74 degrees out, the sun is shining, and the 54-year-old is pushing through bumper-to-bumper traffic on the 8 freeway at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. But she's not going to Ocean Beach for a last-minute dip. No, she's headed in the opposite direction, to an overgrown strip on the outskirts of the Admiral Baker Golf Course that's peppered with broken beer bottles and tents. So the reason? One of her wireless cameras picked up footage of a dog she's been tracking. Fry runs Away Home for Dogs. That's like the charity she runs. A charity dedicated to finding lost pets for free. So this is the equivalent to her bat signal, or the Babs signal. She has to go inspect the area, personal safety be damned. So it's like real sketchy. And she's like, I have a camera over here and one of the dogs is missing, and I picked it up on her radar.
Okay.
So the jolt for me is when the hunt is on, she said. You get a sighting and we're in the game. Let's go. This is life or death.
Oh my God, Ace Ventura.
And for Fry, it is her life. She's been helping San Diegoans reunite with their pets day in and day out for the past 10 years. Each month, Fry helps locate dozens of pets, according to her estimates. Today, she's already driven from her home in East County to La Jolla, then to Fiesta Island, before headed towards the golf course. A half a dozen dog leashes hanging from her rearview mirror like a rosary, and a moderate amount of fur accessorize her GMC Yukon. She herself is dressed in a black tight shirt reading Dog Rescue in Progress.
I can see it in my mind's eye.
Oh my God, I want to write a movie about her right now.
But does she have a pixie cut, or does she have like a manager cut? What's her haircut look like?
Kind of like mullet, like bangs and a mullet.
Okay.
Of. Like she's definitely like tan and
It's PC with a little bit of mousse in it.
no, not really. Kind of like flatter.
Okay.
We have a picture we can put up for
All
sure.
right.
She says the long drives don't faze her. This is just another afternoon on the job. She says, I don't take days off. Dogs don't take days off. As Fry maneuvers through traffic, the radio is muted. Listening to music would be futile because her iPhone rings every other minute with texts and calls from owners looking for help. One woman who reaches Fry is frantic, asking for pointers on the best game plan to find her 4-pound Pomeranian who escaped from her house earlier that day. The woman said like there's so many coyotes around here.
Mhm.
And then someone in the background of the phone call was like, are you talking to Babs? Proof that the local fame Fry has gained as a pet recovery specialist. So like she's just like known in San Diego.
Does she have like a bus stop bench ad or a commercial? Like, how do people
It's been
know
10
about
years
her?
of like on the market, like I know grassroots marketing, like knowing a friend. Like she's doing this non-stop. Like she does not stop.
Wow.
Well, Fry tells the woman to calm down and to listen to her directions. Her first piece of advice is one that many owners find counterintuitive. I would not be out actively looking for your dog. The biggest mistake people make is they go off racing for their dog and their dog is looking for them. And now they're spreading their smell everywhere.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
I have goosebumps because I would never have thought that would be like the way to like do it, to like not actually go everywhere.
Wow.
That creates confusion for the pup. Fry continues and extends the time that they're lost. The odds a dog returns home, Fry says later, are directionally proportional to people staying the fuck out of the way.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Babs.
The second step, she tells the woman, is to put out an old sock in her front yard because her dog will actually be acutely familiar with that scent.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm dumping out my laundry in my front yard.
Literally. Fry continues to be like, hey, contact me with any updates soon and don't worry about bothering me because I'm available 24/7.
Okay. She's just on the case. Doing this for free?
Yeah, for free. So like this happened because she lost a dog 10 years ago and it was missing for 10 days. And for a day and a half, she was like, I'm an idiot. I'm doing all the wrong things. And I've learned that like chasing your dog is not the best like way to like handle this.
But that is like the human instinct is to be like, well, I have to go find my dog, especially if there are coyotes in the area and it's a Pomeranian.
Yeah, she said there's no like one way to do any of this, but like there's ways that you can like help streamline it and not confuse your dog. So Fry is a recovering alcoholic with 17 years of sobriety under her belt. Fry had previously worked in finance. That was nowhere near as rewarding as tracking down lost pets, though. So Fry, who had a hysterectomy in her 20s, barring her from having children with her Navy vet husband, feels that the dogs are more like kids than animals to her. When you get clean and sober at the end of the day, you need a purpose, Fry says. For me, this work and my dogs are sometimes the only reason I get up in the morning. They give me a reason to live. They remind me of unconditional love. So after that phone call with the Pomeranian odor, she is reluctant to share the recipe for finding the dog in a magazine because she doesn't want people to like merely follow what they read rather than reach out. And that's the problem, she says, because there's no set playbook for locating a lost pup. She says, this is a dance. The dog is picking a card and I'm the dancing instructor. And until your dog pulls the card, we don't know whether they're doing the waltz, the tango, or whatever.
I get that. That makes sense. I'm somehow on the same page.
So she pulls in the golf course and she's looking at the cameras and she's like trying to find like any missing clue. And she has 20 cameras like throughout all of San Diego, ranging from $150 to $500 each. And she monitors them all through like her iPhone apps. So when she gets there, the dog isn't there. So she puts rotisserie chicken in the dog trap and she leaves. And she's like, I have 100 other animals I have to find today. This dog wants to be spicy. I got to move on. So she's like, I have another call in Fiesta Island for a cat that's missing.
The cat missing in Party Island.
So literally, she's like, I'm trying to help the cat. The owner is like, she's incredible. She's taking into account patterns, where they've been and what kind of personality they have. She's savant-ish. So she's like constantly bouncing from like project to project and it's expensive to run this. So she does have an operation like that's called the Away for Homes. It's a 501c3. So that owner of the cat donated $500 because like she has to keep these cameras running. She has to keep the food, like all of the rotisserie like chickens she's using for like stuff
and gas in the car and lights
gas
in her
in the car,
house.
SIM cards, cages, gas. Like it's a big undertaking. And she's like, I'm getting yelled at every day for keeping it free. It's amazing when you do things for free, how people can be. But I'm reminded that there are some amazing human beings in the world. And then she explains that she's balked. And then she explains that if she turns her operation into a for-profit business, she's worried that people will like not use her because she doesn't want money to be a reason why someone can't find their pet.
That is so selfless of her.
Yeah. So after coming up empty for answers at the golf course, she's back headed downtown. Her next mission again is to scout for a lost dog that caused an accident on the freeway. If she's lucky, she'll make it back home where she runs a rescue shelter with 80 dogs around 10 o'clock at night.
Jesus Christ. Is she the only one doing this? Is her Navy husband doing something?
He's
with
probably
her?
helping with the 80 dogs at home.
That's nuts.
That might give her enough time for her to watch an episode of 90 Day Fiancé, she says, before hitting the road again to do it all again tomorrow. She says, I'm convinced God put this in my journey because he knows my people skills still need some fine tuning. But I don't do it for people. I do it for the dogs.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So in this like day, she didn't find any animals, but this was like one day. But like she's just constantly hopping from parts of San Diego.
Crazy.
And she has a proven track record. She's done this for 10 years and she's really successful at it.
I picture her house being like a hacker's house where there's just like computer screens all over the walls and she's like monitoring all of where the dogs roam. That's like, how does she know? If it's like a Ring doorbell, every time something moves like a tree branch, it's like, someone's at your door, someone's at your door.
That's why it's like so expensive to run it too, because she has to keep all these like cameras and batteries and SIM cards and like just the gas. Like I think it's great that this is not for profit and that people are donating. You know, this is keeping people's connections with pets are just so important. And you know, when you have a animal that goes missing, it is the most stressful thing ever because you don't know how to do it. And she doesn't want you to like follow her exact directions because it might be different for your pet. But people like this are just so interesting. And she seems like a real badass woman. So I hope TLC gives her a show or something.
That would be so cool. Kind of like Dr. Love?
Dog the Bounty Hunter, but she's really doing it.
Yeah. No, wait. What's that doctor that the pet vet? Do you know who I'm talking about? He like lives in Alaska or something. Maybe I'm making this up. I think it's on Animal Planet. Is that still around? I don't know.
Yeah, Animal Planet's huge with the animals.
He has a TV show and people love it. I would watch.
Yeah, amazing. This episode of Camp Counselors is brought to you by StoryWorth. If you're spending time with loved ones for the holidays, chances are you're going to hear a lot of stories. The ones you love to hear and the ones you've heard too many times. But have you ever wanted to help your loved ones capture those timeless stories, not just for themselves, but for you, your entire family, and future generations? It can seem daunting to write an entire book of life memories, but StoryWorth has made it fun and easy. Here's how it works. Each week, StoryWorth emails your loved ones a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. And StoryWorth makes the writing process super simple. All your loved ones need to do is respond to that email with a story. They will answer questions over the course of the year. Then, at the end of the year, StoryWorth compiles all of your loved ones' stories in their own words along with any submitted photos and puts them into a beautiful keepsake hardcover book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. Can you think of a better coffee table book, campers? Help your family members share and capture their stories this holiday season with StoryWorth. Go to storyworth.com/counselors today and save $10 on your first purchase. That's StoryWorth.com/COUNSELORS to save $10 on your first purchase. Storyworth.com/counselors.
Grab your bug juice and bear spray, campers. It's time to pack it up and take a hike.
Welcome back to Take a Hike. This is the part of the show where we bitch a little and we tell something to take a hike. I feel like I'm sitting so weird. If you're listening to this audio only, I'm wearing the most uncomfortable wool sweater and it is so tight on my neck. And I feel like it's just like has me seated weird. And if I stand up, it looks crazy. Like
you look cute.
Thank you. This is like this is a sweater for sitting in. This is not like a stand up and go out kind of sweater.
Well, there's outfits to stand and there's outfits to sit. And we all know that's the truth.
Yes. Okay. So this is the part of the show where we bitch a little, something that's pissing us off. I don't know where we were when I made this note, but I did make a note in my phone when this occurred. So my take a hike is going out to sparklers in birthday cakes at restaurants.
Okay, Scrooge.
No,
what the hell's wrong with that?
Listen, I love celebrating a birthday. I love when it comes with a candle and everybody sings. That's totally fine. But when it's a sparkler, and I'm not talking about like well, it can just be a normal sparkler, but the one in this instant was like a giant one, and it's just complete. It's like sparking all over the place. Everybody finishes singing. Sparkler's still going. The woman tries to blow it out. The waiter's like, it doesn't go out. You gotta wait. Nobody can talk because it's going. It's like literally throwing sparks at this woman who's wearing a cashmere sweater. That can go up in flames.
You're
can
wearing
it? I don't
wool.
know.
You would burn.
Don't ever sing happy birthday to me when I'm wearing wool. Write that on my grave. And then everybody just kind of has to sit. Nobody can even dive. You can't dive in. Everybody's just sitting, waiting for that little sparkler to go out. And it's kind of a morbid reminder of your birthday is just one more sparkler until your sparkle has burnt out. And to me, I don't love that. Bring me a normal candle. Sing me a song. That's great. But when it's a sparkler and everybody in the restaurant is turned and staring, I could simply melt into my seat like a cup of buttermilk. Drink me up, Marjorie.
I want to say this. I really am requesting a sparkler for my 30th birthday.
And I will do that for you.
Because I want that. And I think campers out here are conflicted by this. And I think you're losing the audience with this one.
And I'm somehow, by the grace of God, 100% okay with that. Because I just hate a sparkler should not be indoor anyway. Because they leave behind that weird fume. Something, ozone layer.
Vape.
Don't do, not in front of the campers. Please. Okay, so that's my take a hike. I do have a fear of dark water, but the fear of this happening to me and having to sit there for a full 30 seconds while it fizzles out far surpasses my fear of sharks.
Rank your fears: dark water, water slides, or sparklers indoors. 1, 2, or 3. Which is the worst?
It probably is dark water. I'm probably going to say. I'm just being silly, but like I hate dark water, but I had a nightmare the other night about a water slide. Were we talking about water slides?
You just are constantly bringing it back to water slide.
I don't know. It's like plumbing. I don't need to feel like a little turd.
I love them.
Okay. So what are you telling to take a
My United flight on the way to Chicago, there was just like too much happening and it was sensory overload for me. And I'm going to start off with my first grievance with this flight. United needs some flair. They do. I've worked with United before too. And I'm going to tell them on camera, maybe there's some updated flights that are nicer, but like as a whole, it's giving like burnt out fluorescent light. Like, you know, it's kind of yellowy. It's just, there's no, like Delta has like a whim to it, like a beauty, a grace, but I don't feel it.
It felt like a waiting room. We were all just waiting to arrive.
And that's how I take a hike. My take a hike is the person that was sitting behind me that I could feel every movement on their hands on the back of the seat. You know, they do that thing. It's like, there's a spider crawling up your back and he's itching you.
There's a knife in your back. It is dripping down the blood and it's dripping down the blood.
Egg on your head and it's
dripping
splashing
in my dow and it's going in your crack.
Literally happened to me. And I can't even blame the man behind me because I think he was just like fishing through the printed materials.
But what is he doing? There's no Sky Mall. What is he looking for in there?
The safety pamphlet. Because he
was abiding.
He wants to know where to get his life vest. So I'm not going to shame him for that. But then at the same time, it's like, is this the airline's fault? Because the seats do have to be thin because we can't have big cushion seats because we have to get this airplane up in the air. And I'm a fatty. And there's a bunch of us fatties on this flight. So if there's a bunch of fatties in the air, we need to have some thin chairs because we're all kind of weighing it down.
Well, I think the first thing that has to go are the cans of soda, the cans of pop. Those are what's really weighing us down.
Well, we need a beverage. And I think a can of soda weighs just as much as a water bottle.
Everyone's allowed to go to the bathroom once and drink from the tap.
No, everyone needs to go to the bathroom before the flight.
Empty all of your fluids out and then the plane will be light.
No, I know. If that wasn't bad enough, after I was getting a non-consensual massage through my chair.
Wait, also when they go to stand up and they're shaking your chair because they're using it to grip, and I understand people need it for stability, but it's like...
But don't ever touch my chair.
I'm getting whiplash from it.
That has happened, but not this flight. This man did keep in his seat after he was done giving me a 45-minute massage, looking through paperwork. And the entire time there's a baby in front of me. So this guy's behind me and there's a baby in front of me. And I'm like, oh my God, like this baby's being so good. Until 45 minutes before we land, this baby takes the fattest shit I've ever smelled in my life. You know, it was so bad, you guys. I had to put my shirt over my nose. And I'm like, go, we need to clean this baby up. This baby's got to be wiped. This flight was a menace. It was like overstimulating to the senses. I'm being touched. I'm being like, I don't know, targeted by, this was a terrorist attack. Was the gas from the baby.
You can't say that on a plane.
I didn't. I'm saying it on the podcast.
But that smell hit us both at the same time.
Foul.
And it was like putrid.
And if that baby wasn't bad enough, I had a really crazy baby story on the flight back.
Oh, yeah.
So we're flying back and I get to my seat and I have the window seat. And this woman's like already put her baby in the window seat and she's in the middle. And she's like, oh my God, do you mind? Like, it's just easier for him to be in the window seat. And it's like, I don't mind. Like, personally, I don't mind. Because I think the baby's probably safer, like, kind of like against the window, like, whatever. But at the same time, like, you didn't buy that seat. So, like, that's crazy on you.
Well,
like,
also, she's like, you want her to install. Is it install? I don't know. You want her to install to download the car seat into the aisle seat. Because then when you have to get up and get out, you're going to be brushing past this baby who's trying to take a nappy.
No, I get that. But at the same time, like, if someone else bought a window seat ticket and then you think that you get to make that call, it's not okay. For me, it was okay. But as a rule of thumb, like, your baby isn't my problem. Like, I'm sorry, your lack of preparedness is not my emergency. And I'll say that again. Like, if you needed a window seat, girl, get a window seat. And I don't care. But I think as a whole, we all should be a little bit more like aware of what other people's needs are. And I was the bigger person here. And I really didn't care. But I don't think that just because you have a baby means that you're entitled to sit wherever. I don't.
Agree. Can I play devil's advocate?
No, I don't need it.
Okay.
No, what is it? You can say it.
I was going to say because our flight was booked by Aldi really early. So I think since it
wasn't booked early. It wasn't booked early.
Well, maybe she had to get a last minute flight to go.
And I know. That's why I'm saying I don't care. But I'm just saying as a whole, there could be a reason why someone would need a window seat. And
people have panic. Like my cousin has panic attacks if he's not sitting in the window seat and can't have control over the window being up or down.
That's what I'm saying. And so like, what if I was your cousin and this would happen to him? Like,
we'd be dating and that would be weird.
Well, no one's being my devil's advocate. No one's sticking up for me and not this baby. But now this story's going to be crazy because the baby was fine. The baby was chatty, but the baby was happy chatty. Like, he was like shouting a lot, but it was like he was vibing. Like,
were you guys talking?
No, but like I was watching his phone.
What was he playing?
He was watching
Cocomelon?
Movies. He was so cute. He's actually really cute. The car seat was so staticky that his hair looked like crazy the entire time. So something bad happened to the baby.
What happened to baby?
Oh my god.
Oh, I know what happened.
This was this baby's world got rocked. So if you're a baby listening, skip past this because this is gonna be traumatizing for you.
Yeah, put on Cocomelon.
Yeah, you need a break. So when we got on this plane, we were told that there was going to be a lot of turbulence on the way down, and it was a turbulent flight coming into LaGuardia, but it was fine. Like, I feel like we fly enough that doesn't stress me.
We did land sideways, and that was a little crazy.
So we landed. That's the point of the story. So the baby is in a car seat, but the car seat is strapped. Like, the base of it is strapped to the bottom of the chair, but there's nothing anchoring the top of the car seat to the back of the seat, if that makes sense. And moms out there, they're getting it. So when we landed, it was such a harsh landing. And then there was an immediate break in the plane and we all jolted forward. And this car seat did like this crazy like flip up where it was still attached to the bottom of the seat, but the top of it flung forward. And the baby's head, who was probably, I would guess, around 14 months, his head smashed the TV screen like hard. Immediately starts wailing. The mom is like flipping out. And like no poker face on the aisle seat. I'll tell you that much. Hands over the mouth in full panic. And I will say the baby quieted down alarmingly fast.
It was alarmingly fast.
And I said, oh, that baby has a concussion.
Yeah.
So hopefully that baby's okay today.
What I hate is that I know that like a crying baby on a flight is annoying. I get it, but it's like the mom doesn't want to deal with it.
I never care about a crying baby.
I know you.
I don't. Because it's like the mom literally, the baby doesn't know he can do anything. Like,
I know. But the people who were like kind of around us, like a couple people forward and the person on my side was like giving a harsh stare and like scoffing. And I'm like, we just landed, one, so you don't have to deal with this baby for much longer. And two, that was like, we all flew forward.
That was a bad landing.
I hit the thing, the TV in front of me.
Did you hit your head on the TV in front of you?
No, I went like that and I had to catch myself.
And his little sister was in front of him and she had her seat back. So I don't think she helped.
Oh.
And then the baby's crying and she gets up and she's like, what's wrong?
Yeah. And
I was like, sit down, Gingerella.
Stop. That poor baby. I hope he's okay.
I don't have his contact information to reach out. So I'm calling local hospitals, seeing if that baby needed a checkup after that.
All jokes aside.
So that's why I
feel
feel
babies are strapped in.
And that's why I feel bad having that whole discussion in the beginning about the baby taking my seat.
No, let's just take a hike. This is like you can tell the baby to go fuck off if you want to. This is
I tried it. Then you play devil's advocate. I think I'm done because I actually will not talk about the story any further because
You have nothing nice to say about baby.
because the baby had enough going on.
He can't even speak up for himself. He can't even speak. He can't even read.
He's sobbing and his hair is like it's like static electricity everywhere. I'm like he's red and he's like screaming and it's like the baby turned to devil baby.
Oh, and he was
know.
a ginger, which was even worse.
No, he was blonde.
His curse.
Yeah, he was bleach blonde.
The ginger
His
curse.
sister, gorgeous red hair, but she was a menace.
She was. I was like,
Oh.
don't put your fingers in your mouth.
Flying with kids, it's like if you're considering having a child and you're not sure if it's for you, get on a plane with a child. And I think that is natural birth control because I have no problem with the kid because the kid doesn't know any better. But the way that the parents are so stressed, it's like I know that took years off your life. And that's why Marjorie lived to 102 because she never had to put a baby on a plane. That stress from that mother having to console her crying baby after he got a concussion, like that took a year off her life, and I'll guarantee it.
So moms out there tonight, pour yourself a tall glass of buttermilk.
You deserve it. I'm gonna say go right for the double shot margarita like Jonathan had it on the border.
Do you think the new counselor likes the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Over.
Either way, I'm giving them my boondoggle keychain. Over.
Welcome back to Camper Crush of the Week. We're feeling positive now. We're leaving bad baby in the back. He was fine. I'm done talking about this baby. Stop asking about this baby. I did write something funny down that you said earlier that made me laugh.
What?
Don't ever sing happy birthday to me when I'm wearing wool. That was just really funny and I wanted to say it again. Jonathan, so I know what's not your Camper Crush of the Week. What is your Camper Crush of the Week?
So my Camper Crush of the Week, this is the part of the show where we talk about what we're crushing on. So what am I crushing on? Another restaurateur situation, which could be polarizing. And I don't think you're going to like it. My crush of the week is when it is a waiter or waitresses or wait them's, they them's first day on the job and they tell me, and then I really gas it up for them because I know that they're nervous. I'm nervous too, but we can get through this together. And I really think that I am like the perfect candidate to be a first timer on. Don't you think? Because I'm so like, I could order a buttermilk and you could bring me a shot of tequila. And I would say, totally fine. I'll take this shot of tequila. You know, like, please go get me another one, but like, I'll pay for this. It's like, it's already made, you know? You were already making a face and I know what you're going to say.
I just can't believe that this is your crush of the week and having sparklers on a birthday cake is your take a hike. I would swap the two.
No, but, and then that feeling when I give the check to them and I wink and I say, you did great, kid.
And she's
I
like,
say that
I'm
every time.
57.
And I'm like, I'm just always going to let them know that they did great.
No, what people don't know is that, well, you don't know this, but me and the campers have an inside joke about you at camp.
Great. I love being left out of this and being the butt of a joke.
Yeah, we call you Patient Pollyanna.
And I am.
We say, oh, there's Patient Pollyanna because you always let all the campers go first at the mess hall.
I really do. I'm a martyr, honestly.
You love to be the martyr. Yeah. No, I think that's a sweet crush of the week.
Also, who is Pollyanna? Isn't that?
She had a movie and I watched it.
What was her lure? Do you remember?
She was just a girl.
Could she talk to animals? Is that what? Oh, I'm thinking of Eliza Thornberry.
No, Pollyanna. She was very much like. She was like the where's she from? The Swiss version, like the Swiss Alps version of
Heidi.
Yeah. Oh, that's Heidi. And then there's also Anne of Green Gables.
No.
I actually loved Anne of Green Gables.
No, who was that?
She was just a real staunch little girl. And she was like, I'm paving a path for myself. She was a writer, a child.
Are these American Girl dolls?
No, they're American Legends in my house.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyways, you're Patient Pollyanna. And when I used to work in restaurants, I used to always get partnered with the newbies. And I'd be like, hi, my name is Zachariah. Here's Jonathan. He'll be following me today. So if you have any questions, you can also ask him for help. And then I'd be at the POS. I'm like, here's what the drinks are. Here's the appetizers are. Do not bring your entree in until your appetizer hits the table.
And you know what's crazy too? I'm just going to like blow smoke up on my own asshole. I am so busy all the time, but I will always make time for a survey if I really think like the service is great.
You do. You're a survey legend.
I didn't even tell you this. I took a survey on your behalf because I knew you weren't going to do it when we were at Old Navy and Jenny helped us out and she took a sweater off a mannequin on Black Friday.
I did the survey because I drove the 3 hours home that day and you were putzing around with the seat heater on your phone giggling at TikTok.
No, I didn't do it then. I did it the next day.
That was sweet of you.
And I
because
put
Jenny
her
really
full
saved
name
that.
in. Yeah, I put her full name and I put it in the Google
What's
review.
her last name?
Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer. Got it.
No, I just put her full name as in like Jennifer, not just Jenny. And I said the location, and then I went on the website and I talked to a bot, and I confirmed that the corporate office got my customer review.
Well, now I'm nervous because her nameplate said Jenny, and what if there's another Jennifer that works there, and that's why she's Jenny, not Jennifer?
Well, I explained the situation, but I also didn't want to say she took it off the mannequin because when we
That's okay.
I wasn't allowed to do that.
At
Old Navy, you work
can.
there.
You can do that at Old Navy because they're like, make the sale.
Ours was a write-off. And I was like, that's dumb. If somebody wants this, let's do it. And it was like almost forbidden. I was told to never do it. I would have to get a manager.
Interesting because Old Navy will sell you a dirty tile if they can. They're like, sure.
I'm in the market for a dirty tile. Why did they have bubble tape at the cash wrap?
You wouldn't believe it.
I saw it. I believe it.
I need a whole episode to talk about that.
Okay, so that's enough smoke up my ass. Okay, sorry, bringing it back to you.
My crush of the week is Portillo's.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about this. Campers, I'm excited.
I've been hearing about the lore of Portillo's from Jonathan's family since I've met him. And it was a must stop on our Crystal Lake journey. Portillo's is famous for their Chicago dogs, Italian beef, cheese fries, chocolate cake shake, and incredible detailed sets that do make you nervous.
I believe I brought it up. I don't remember if it was a Patreon bonus episode or if it was on a trail mix. I think it might have been a trail mix story where it happened in a Portillo's. But I'm so glad I got to take you there.
Yeah, no, it was a really great time. I got a lot of flack on Instagram because I did not order a hot dog from there. And you guys know I love a gagger. It's tried and true. But I was hungover and someone said it perfectly in my DMs. They said, hot dogs are food when you're drunk, not when you're hungover. And I can't agree more. I don't crave and I don't love the idea of a Chicago dog. I think you guys are doing a little too much. I love that for you, but don't push that on me.
Doubling down, yes, 100% agree. Same with the deep dish pizza.
Yeah, like there's just certain things that like you guys really enjoy, but like you don't have to make. Not everyone has to enjoy it. So I got a chicken sandwich. It was fantastically cooked, and then the cheese fries, the chocolate cake shake was great. More cake than I thought. I was picturing more of like a cake batter shake, but they really just put milk and cake in a blender and you're basically eating batter.
Should have stuck a sparkler in there.
You could have, and it would have been a real birthday surprise.
I think it really was like a whole slice of cake.
I think that's what they say it is.
With the frosting. And then they mixed it in with ice cream and milk.
It was good. It was just rich.
Too rich. I don't want to have to chew.
I actually really liked it. I don't mind having a little chew back.
It felt like...
It bounces back at you.
It bounces. How is it frozen, but somehow room temp?
It is so frozen room temp.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, my Dr. Pepper was also so crisp, and a Dr. Pepper fountain will heal my hangover.
The soda there, I'm sorry, the pop there was such a delay. Not self-service though. You had to go back to the counter and pay for it.
Can you explain what the restaurant looks like inside?
Okay, so this specific one, apparently I had only been to this specific one growing up. So I took Zach to the same exact one, haven't changed a thing. They really haven't. All the mannequins, I don't know how they're all still standing because they look like they were melted when I was a child, but they're still up there. You've got like little scenes and vignettes above your head. This one was like Prohibition era, 1920s. We had a female...
was being robbed
with like her eyes blindfolded, but lots of guns everywhere.
But it's a mannequin.
And then there was a poker table, and I remember looking up at the lady and she was like, I swear to God, I saw her blink. And there was like a roulette game. It got like Casino Royale.
Yeah, Prohibition, speakeasy.
Also Al Capone. It was Al Capone, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Al Capone had a house in Crystal Lake, and I'm pretty sure he got busted in Chicago when he was coming back from his Crystal Lake house. So I think they had pictures of him on the wall too, behind that big poster that said, "We'll change your life if you apply for a job here at Portillo's." They had a framed picture of Al Capone there as well.
That's so funny because when I grew up in Westport, I was always told that Al Capone brought in liquor through the Westport Point. But now you have proof of yours.
Well, we don't have a port, so he was like escaping, and he would hide out in Crystal Lake, and there are pictures of him. What are the chances
that Al Capone was actually in Westport too? I think people just lie.
Probably.
Anyone from Mass can confirm that for us, because it's like Al Capone couldn't be everywhere,
but he couldn't be still for too long.
Oh my God! So he literally every town in America has been kissed by Allie.
Oh, is he alive?
No, baby, no way. Wasn't he around during Prohibition?
Wait, Ask Marjorie, who turned 102. I don't know what year she was born.
She was married to Al.
Stop.
There we go. It all comes full circle here on the pod.
But that's what I would explain it. It's eclectic. It's a mix. It's like very much like being at Disneyland if Disneyland did drugs off of a spoon.
It's very Rainforest Cafe-esque in its own way.
Less animals, more chaos. Yeah.
But like still very overtly themed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kept telling me I also should have gotten the Italian beef sandwich, dry sauce on side with peppers. Once again, you guys, like, if I wasn't hungover, I would have been more adventurous. But the ribbons of beef in a roll that's wet with hot peppers was not what I needed for my life that day. I was shaking, and I was trying to be there for Jonathan, and I'm driving down unfamiliar roads in a rental, and I'm nauseous, and I feel like I'm gonna shit myself at every turn. So I needed something to absorb, and that's why I got the chicken sandwich. And I'll tell you, like, I'll go back and I'll try the Italian beef. I will. I'm sorry. They also had something on the menu called a gravy roll, which looked like a sub roll soaked in gravy, and then they wrap it up and give it to you. And that was jarring.
That was crazy.
Jarring.
I've never seen anything like it. They just like, I guess, dip it in the dip it tobacco.
Like, can I get the gravy on the side and dip it myself?
Please. Like, I'm not trying to take this home. I live about 10 minutes away, and I got to bring this home to my wife, and she's not going to be very happy when it's already soggy.
Well, I think if you're ordering something called a gravy roll, I think you're okay with sog.
Yeah, she probably needs a hug.
Well,
whoever ordered
Portillo's
that.
is everywhere now.
And I didn't know that.
If you need to try a chain restaurant, go to Florida. They will have every single one. Do they have a Buc-ee's there yet? I'm sure they're about to get one.
They have a fucking Wawa.
Yeah.
How did they manage
They
that?
have Culver's. They have Dunkin'. They have all like
Bojangles.
They've all like the regional favorites are all in Florida. And Florida is the state that everyone moves to. Creed, religion, sex, race, gender, it doesn't matter. Like, at some point you're going to find it in Florida. Florida. One hell of a drug.
Really is. A lot of drugs in Florida.
Yeah, well, good for them. This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by BetterHelp. The cozy days of winter are here, campers. Jonathan and I just put up our tree. We are watching all of the corny holiday movies that we love, and I'm only wearing sweatpants and hoodies and baking cookies. If anyone is looking for me, just know you'll find me cozy and comfortable. Therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the seasons change. I love therapy. It's been so helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/camp today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/camp, CAMP, to get 10% off your first month. What song's been stuck in your head all week? Welcome to Camp Songs. Welcome back to Camp Songs. Ooh. I want to sing a little. I want to strum a lot. I want to share a song that's been stuck in my head. Oh, I'm a little black. Okay, no. Big week for music.
Big week for music. Wait, big week for camp counselors.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit, campers. The amount of people who posted that camp. Okay, so we're talking about Spotify Wrapped right now, if you didn't know. The amount of campers who posted that we were their like number one, or at least on their top 5 listen to podcasts.
Thousands of campers that we made it in your top 5. We don't ever need to be your number one. We know you have different interests, different loves. The fact that we're even in your rotation is enough for us, that you come back every single week and you listen. And the proof is in the Spotify Wrapped figgy pudding. And we were floored. It was such a fun morning at the airport because it was like excitement of going to Chicago, and then the Spotify Wrap dropped, and you guys started posting left and right. And we're sorry we didn't post all of them.
We were literally
like
on a flight. I'm sorry.
20 of them. And I'm in awe. So thank you so much for listening to the show and letting us be a part of that. Apple, I'm sure we're huge on Apple. We're huge on there
Apple
too.
is our number one downloaded.
Yeah.
And we were only seeing Spotify, which is like crazy.
So wherever you're listening, even if you're listening on an old coconut and you found a way to do it,
God bless.
we're so appreciative. And it was a fun week. I love Spotify Wrapped. I look for it every year. This one was I thought they could have given us more. I'm never going to be greedy with them though. I'm always appreciative of what they give us. But I thought last year we did get more details about what we were listening to. And I love the stats. I'm a stat guy. Who was your top 5?
My top 5 songs. Okay, so here's the thing. I play a lot of music like in the background and when I'm reading and when I'm writing. So I think a lot of this comes from that, but it is all music that I hand selected that I really enjoy.
Do you want to do your top 5 artists instead then? Is that more accurate, you think?
I don't think I wrote mine down.
Okay, you can just do your top 5 songs then. But you feel like it's a tad skewed because of who you are, but that's okay.
Okay, so my top 5 songs. Rises the Moon by Liana Flores. It's a very like calm, sleepy song. Air Forces by Mustafa. Sweet by Cigarettes After Sex. Stay Alive by Mustafa. Like all slow and kind of depressing songs. And my top song, Campers. My top song that I was in the top 0.005% of listeners globally, and I streamed it exactly 100 times starting January 8th, was Fade Into You by Mazzy Star.
That's so you though. That actually is accurate, I feel.
What have I been up to? No good, I'll tell you that.
No, you do listen to a lot of vibey kind of playlists.
Yeah. What is your top 5 Spotify Wrapped?
Number 1, really excited about this. Widows of Normandy by Ryla Chance. I brought this song up months ago on the podcast when I found it on TikTok. She's a relatively new kind of underground artist. I streamed it so much. It was my number 1. A lot of campers also told me that it made their Spotify Wrapped because of the feature on the show. I DM'd her. She was so excited. She said she has a lot of new projects on the way. She's like a very like small artist, and that was my number 1. That song is cinema. It transport me to a gay Abraham Lincoln, and that's how I feel. And then it was She's Such a Bitch by Mirage from Drag Race. That was a real left field turn, but when that came out on Drag Race, I did stream that 1,000 times. That makes sense.
When you were walking, for sure. You think I'm a bitch?
Well, you're not that wrong.
Put your men on a leash.
Because all men are dogs. See a song with a bark in it? I'm gonna do it. And then All My Love, Noah Kahan, Miss Independent, Kelly Clarkson, which was a big part of my summer tour shows, which made sense. I had to run that a bunch. And then Northern Attitude by Noah Kahan. And that was the round out. My top artist was Noah Kahan, obviously.
Wow.
So what's your song? What is your song is of the week? Is it something from your Spotify Wrapped?
Okay, so I didn't want to pick that. I'm actually doing this on the fly right now. This has never been done before. I wasn't going to pick one because I didn't want it to be like soft and somber, but I'm like, fuck it. It's like our camp song list. There's pump up songs you can next it if you want to.
I put so many sad songs on there.
Okay, so I'm going to save my song that I actually have on here for next week because I'm going to pick Fade Into You by Mazzy Star. But I don't have that much more to say about it because I had all my fun facts for Akon, which will come next week.
We had a camper, and I'm trying to remember the story, but she basically planned to lose her virginity to Mazzy Star. Do you remember she like was losing her virginity and it was all like planned out?
Oh, and it was like the 4th song on the list. She's like, okay, Third Base will be there by song 3.
Yeah, it's like she was like, okay, I'm gonna put this on this playlist, and by the time this song starts, I will have lost my virginity. And she had it like queued up. It was very funny. I'm trying to remember more of the story, but like I remember that detail because I was like, that's so Jonathan.
I really got heavy into the whimsy goth era, and I also didn't tell you this, but what do you think about making the downstairs bathroom like whimsy gothic? Because it's like the smallest space, but I don't want it to be like a private space that's like when our friends come over, I want them to be like, oh my god, this is so whimsy goth, it's so fun.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I think you can do whatever you want with that space. You don't have to run anything by me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just
awesome.
go for it.
That's
want
on
whimsy
record.
Goth shits.
Yeah, I've been loving whimsy goth. And I just really got heavily into it when I made that one video about it.
Yeah, go for it, babe.
They published me in Vogue. What was it? Vogue like Argentina about whimsy goth.
Did it come out?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're listening to a podcast with a Vogue published Argentinian man.
That's me. Okay, so what's your song?
I'm gonna pick one from my top 5, and
I love
it's gonna be Northern Attitude by Noah Kahan, which will be my 5th Noah Kahan song on this playlist. He might be our number 1 artist on the playlist, and it's all because of me. I am heavy on that Noah Kahan train, and I feel like we are in the 6th season. This feels like this is the season to listen to him, and I listen to him all year round. But like, this is the time to be sad.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to be sad, but like me, I can compartmentalize. I can be sad on a song and then pick it up and move on and listen to Pussycat Dolls next.
Oh my God, you're wearing did you do that on purpose?
I did. I'm wearing my 6th season shirt.
Oh, I love that.
Breathing in, breathing out. How you been? Settle down. You feeling right? You feeling proud? How are your kids? Where are they now? Okay, I'm sorry. I just love that song. That was just I didn't even do the chorus, but I won't because you guys know I will. Yeah, love it. I should have done Mirage. She's such a bitch, but I was like, I don't know if everyone's gonna vibe with that, but
it's a short song too. I think that's truly what got the play.
Yeah,
was because it's from RuPaul's Drag Race.
It's a minute,
and it had to be a minute song. And the year before that, Not a Soul Can Clap.
I know, it's just funny. Like Ryla Chance and Mirage are just 2 kind of like very smaller artists, and they have made my top. So let us know in the YouTube comments who surprisingly made your Spotify Wrapped. I think that'd be really fun. I think that's all we have for today's episode. As always, tour tickets are still on sale, so come see these 2 faggies live. We'd love to see you there. A great Christmas gift. And really quickly, also we have Patreon. Patreon's been popping off with vlogs. This whole episode has a vlog attached to it.
And Patreon is already like, they saw the vlog before this episode comes out.
So there's a lot of fun stuff. We have another great video coming out next week. And the holidays are coming up. So I just want to quickly remind everybody of schedule here. So as this episode drops, it is December 11th. We will have an episode for next week, Monday and Wednesday. And December 18th, next Wednesday, will be our last episode of 2024.
That's wild to say.
I know. And then we're going to take the 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's to spend with our family and get some stuff, really great content batched up for the top of next year. So just want to remind you that there's going to be 2 weeks off after next week, but we will be here next week, and it's going to be a fun holiday episode to get you in the Christmas cheer, holiday cheer. Hanukkah also starts this year on December 25th, or whatever you celebrate. And even if you don't celebrate, you can just giggle with us because we love you.
Spin that dreidel and shake those yabos, baby.
Fun note to end it on. And with that being said,
lights out, campers.